Welcome to our YouTube channel, Learn BigQuery. Are you planning to get started with BigQuery as a new skill, or you need to learn for your new project? Whatever may be the reason, you might be finding it challenging how to get started with BigQuery. In this video, I'm going to talk 5 important things that will help you to get started with your BigQuery journey. To start with, I'm going to talk about where to get started with BigQuery. So when it comes to BigQuery, you are going to access it using a console. So I'm going to talk about how are you going to sign up for that and how you can access it. Once you have the access to the BigQuery console, you need to know about what are the good sources to learn BigQuery. So how do you create your first table in BigQuery? How do you load your data into BigQuery table? How do you extract the data in BigQuery? How do you create a view in BigQuery? All those things I'm going to talk about, like when we will talk point number 2, what are the good sources to learn BigQuery. Third, I'm going to talk about what are the key concepts to learn in BigQuery. So when it comes to BigQuery, it's a very, very powerful tool that Google has built. So you need to be aware about what are the features of BigQuery that you can use it for your day-to-day work. So it's starting with like, how do you create authorized view? How do you extract the data? How do you use BQML? So all those kind of machine learning on BigQuery. So all those things we are going to talk about in terms of the concepts. And the fourth, we are going to talk about how to work on the BigQuery project task. So you might be having a project in your hand which you have to work on, like you may have to write a Python code to load the data in BigQuery, or to alter a table, to extract the data from a BigQuery table using your code. What are the good sources that you can directly use, the code snippet library that you need to aware so that you can use it to perform your project task. And the last, I'm also going to talk about what are the good references for BigQuery. So when it comes to BigQuery, it's not that the new project that you might be doing. A lot of enterprise organizations are moving their existing Teradata system or Hadoop and Hibase system to Google Cloud. So you might be having a project which is moving Teradata to BigQuery. What are the good architecture patterns that you should be aware? What are the good tools that you can use it? So if you have to compare the data for BigQuery versus Teradata, or you have to plan your things like when do you move which kind of workload to BigQuery, what are the different tools available? So Google Professional Service provides a lot of tools that you can use it to move your data or to do a lot of things when it comes to BigQuery. So I'm going to give you some of those references so you can use it during your work. Now, before we start, in terms of BigQuery, the first thing that we are going to spend a minute here to learn, what is BigQuery? So BigQuery is Google Enterprise Data Warehouse designed to help you ingest, store, analyze, and visualize your data with ease. And when I say ease, you will see the simplicity of BigQuery. All you have to do is go to a browser, log into your Google Cloud Console, look for the BigQuery, and that's it. You have access to your BigQuery tool. And the best thing about this is that it's a fully managed serverless data warehouse, and which is going to enable you to do a analysis on large scale of data, like petabytes of the data. And when I say petabyte, I really mean it, because I have seen tables of petabyte size which you can easily analyze in BigQuery. It's going to happen on a Google Cloud Console. So this is the UI that you will get when it comes to accessing the Google Cloud Console. And you have to select the project which might be accessed. If you are using your own account, you can create a project, you can sign up, and then you can start using BigQuery. So let's get started, and we'll start seeing like how to work with BigQuery. So first thing you need to do is you need to click on this link that's like console.cloud.google.com/getting started. So that's where your journey for Google BigQuery will start. And if you have not used this in past, what you can do is you can, using your Gmail account, you can sign up and you will get a free $300 credit, which you can use it to learn all the basic thing about BigQuery. You don't have to spend even a single dollar to pay when it comes to learning BigQuery. You can use this $300. That's good enough for all your basic learning of BigQuery. So let's get started. I'm going to click console.cloud.google.com and we'll see how to sign up. Once you click console.cloud.google.com, you do get an option. If you have signed up using your Gmail account, you might be directly getting this particular prompt where you can go ahead and activate your $300 credit. So this will be good for as of this time, like when I'm recording this video, it's just going to be good for 90 days. You can use this $300 to run all your work in BigQuery, and be aware, Google is not going to charge you until you confirm that. So you're totally safe. You go ahead and sign up, and then you can start learning about BigQuery, right? So you can see here, or you can type it, and this will take you to a place where you can learn about the BigQuery. You can access it. So this is where you will get this BigQuery, and you can go ahead and add data. So like if you want to access a public data set, so Google provides a lot of public data set that you can use it when it comes to exploring the data. So you can go ahead and choose the data set that you would like to work with, and you can start working on. So that's where the whole action happens in terms of learning BigQuery. And on the left hand side, you will get the project, data set, tables that you will create. It will all come here, and this is the window where you are going to write your query. So that's the place how you will access the BigQuery. Now let's go back and try to look on the another thing that we wanted to do is like, what are the good sources? So this is like what you got the access. Second thing that we are going to talk about is like, what are the good sources to learn BigQuery? So starting with this Google documentation. So this is like cloud.google.com/BigQuery docs introduction. So this is the best place to start when it comes to learning all the BigQuery key concepts. So you can see what is BigQuery, what are the BigQuery machine learning things. So you can learn about that as well. You can also see about like what is BigQuery clustering. So you have a bunch of these tutorial, regression, all those things you can learn. As it comes like learning good sources to learn BigQuery. So what you can do is I'm going to refer you 3 important links that will help you to get started. So first one is all the documentation that Google provides. It's a very good documentation that you can always refer it and get back and learn. So that's cloud.google.com/BigQuery docs. So that's where you will see all the documentation related to BigQuery. Second thing I would recommend is like if you are more a person who like to read the book, there is a very good book called Google BigQuery Definite Guide. So that you can use as well. It's available on Amazon around $29. So you can go ahead and buy it. Third one, I'm also going to refer a medium.com link. So that talks about BigQuery 101. So that like how do you get started with your first data set table creation. So you can refer that as well. So let's spend a minute to look about all this. So if I come here, what is BigQuery? So this is the link where I would suggest you can go ahead and get all your information in terms of how to get started BigQuery. How do you query the BigQuery data set? How to run interactive and the batch query, how do you schedule your queries, how to work with the SQL, arrays, JSON data, table sampling, how you can use it, working with views, sessions, all those things you can get it here when it comes to learning about BigQuery. Second thing I'm going to refer, like if you don't like to go through documentation like that, so this is like Amazon.com, you can go and buy like Google BigQuery Definite Guide. So this is a very good book which has in a very concise and organized way. You can go ahead and access it, like you can buy it and can access it online if you have access using your Amazon account. And then what you can do is you can learn about all these things in a pretty structured way, like what is BigQuery, how to query, what are the query essential data types, loading the data into BigQuery, all these kind of things, as well as advanced queries you can learn here. It also talks about administering BigQuery, security, all those things you can learn here if you want to go ahead and access this book. The third resource that I'm going to point is the medium.com. So here like BigQuery 101. So this is also a good place like if you just want to get it started in terms of understanding what is BigQuery architecture on very high level, very quickly you can understand. And then if you want to go ahead and learn about like creating the data or exploring the public data set. So it gives some examples which you can use it. And then also talks about how to use the machine learning on BigQuery. So one of the good thing about the BigQuery is like it gives you a quick tool where you can use the machine learning directly on top of BigQuery. So that's where you can get started in terms of starting with BigQuery. Next, we are going to talk about what are the key concepts to learn in BigQuery. So first, overall about BigQuery and then about the query. So if you come here, right, the first link that we have, like how to guide, that you come here. So you can see in this particular link, you will get to know like how to work with data set, how to work with table schema, how to work with table, what is partition table, cluster table, working with views, materialized views, how to use information schema, how to load the data in BigQuery, how to secure BigQuery resources, how to control the cost in BigQuery. That's one of the things that you have to take care when you will get started using BigQuery more and more. How to use BigQuery API. What are the best practices? So all these things you can find on this link that's on how to. The next one is about the query. So when it comes to querying, like what are the type of queries you can run, how the query processing works, what are the query optimization techniques that you should be aware, what are the query pricing methods that's there. So you can know about all those things here. What are the quota and query cost controls that you should be aware of. So all these you can find on this link, as well as like third-party tool integration. How do you do that? So all those kind of information is available here on this link. I'm going to post this link as well in my description. So next I'm going to talk about, like, if you have to work on a BigQuery project, you might be having a lot of tasks in terms of writing your code programmatically and then interact with BigQuery. So where do you find these things? So that's where this particular link is going to be very, very helpful for you. So if you click this link, you will come to here. And here you will find a lot of code sample that Google provides, which you can use it to make your program or the task easily. So like, if you have to go ahead and add a level to a BQ table, you can just go ahead and get a code snippet here, which will basically give you the functionality which you can use it, embed in your code, and you can learn it. If you have to create a data set through a Python code, you can easily come here, see that particular code here, create data set, and you have an option to go ahead and use different languages depending on where do you want to use it. Mostly people use Python, but you have option to use like Go and Java. You get a code snippet for that. So go ahead and use that. Like, you have to create a table, you have to create a view, all those things you can do it programmatically as well as through the command line as well. So all the documentation is going to be available here along with some sample routine, which you can go ahead and use it. Here, I'm also going to talk about some of the good references that you can use it when it comes to working more enterprise level BigQuery projects. So if you are migrating a Teradata system, or you have Oracle system, Snowflake, or Netezza, Redshift, and you have to move to BigQuery, how do you do that? So this link will help you to know about all those things, like how do you use the schema identification there, how do you create your transfer job to move all the historical data, what are the pricing and limitation that you should be aware, because Teradata and BigQuery both are not the same system, so you should be aware of that one. What are the key things when it comes to SQL translation and references? So those things are also, you can find all the difference. What are the data types that you need to be aware in terms of mapping between Teradata versus BigQuery? So all those details are available here, which you can use it and then you can start working on. Along with this, I'm also going to share one important thing here with you about the professional service tool. So Google Professional Service provide a lot of tools that you can use it. A lot of people are not aware about this one, but I would encourage you to go ahead and use it. Like, so if you have to migrate a data from Hive to BigQuery, so there is a code written there, Hive to BigQuery, so that refreshes your Hive data to BigQuery easily. So you can go ahead and get this code snippet and you can migrate your Hive tables to BigQuery easily. What are the architecture pattern that you should follow? How do you move the data? How do you identify the change? All those kind of things are detailed out here. So you can pretty much use this. So I'm going to post this link as well in the description. So that's again going to help you. Apart from that, I would also suggest you to go ahead and subscribe the Learn BigQuery channel. So this channel is going to be fully dedicated for learning about BigQuery. So that also going to help you a lot in terms of learning BigQuery. Okay, so what next? So in my next video, I'm going to go ahead and talk about like more detail what is BigQuery, why you should be using BigQuery, what are the BigQuery features, BigQuery architecture, and as well as I'm going to record a lot of demo which will help you to get started with BigQuery in terms of writing your code and as well as using the BigQuery feature. So go ahead, subscribe this channel and see you in next video. Thank you.